Hey, I got into Film 33! What's up? It's the Culture Detective here, investigating your favorite movies. And today I'm going to be doing a quick movie review on Triangle of Sadness. So, about a couple weeks ago, actually more than that, I think 17 days ago, I returned to Hong Kong again. And the first movie I watched in 2023, and the first movie I watched when I returned to Hong Kong is, of course, Triangle of Sadness. I watched this on a big screen in a cinema, and there we go. And it ended up on my list of my favorite movies of the year list. So of course I have to talk about it. Triangle of Sadness is a new movie from Norwegian, I believe, maybe Swedish. I think Norwegian filmmaker Ruben Östlund, and this earned him a second Palme d'Or award after his previous film, The Square. So yeah, two Palme d'Ors in a row. This guy is going places. But yeah, essentially Triangle of Sadness is a 2.5 hour long epic comedy movie about rich people in terrible situations. And in this case, it's rich people on a yacht, and bad things happen, and there was a storm, and it was raining really hard. And anyways, the yacht, uh, it didn't really sink, but I guess it sort of did. But anyways, something crazy happened, and a bunch of rich people ended up being on a deserted island somewhere, and they were just struggling to survive. And that's pretty much the movie. Now, yeah, I have basically explained the second and the third act of the movie. It's low key a spoiler, but also if you've seen the trailer, it's not really a spoiler, I guess. But yeah, the movie is structured in a way where rich people being on a yacht and being on a deserted island really isn't exactly the premise. There are three acts in the movie, and all three of them are a little bit different. The first act shows a model, this British model trying to date this other girl who's also a model, and it's just two rich idiots fighting with each other and arguing, and then reconciling with each other, burying the hatchet. And that's basically the first act, and it's incredibly funny. It's incredibly funny. I really love the part where they were both arguing on an elevator, and the elevator door kept closing, and the guy kept on trying to open it again. It's so awkward. It's funny. The woman in the couple is obviously the more emotionally manipulative one and the more basic one, and then the guy in question is just so obsessed with her, and it's just such an awkward situation that really feels like it could happen in real life, in the streets or anywhere, and it's really freaking funny. I think the title sequence is also very funny. Right off the bat, we have the model scene where you have the it's Balenciaga, and suddenly it's H&M, and then it's Balenciaga again. And then afterwards we have the title sequence, and that's really cool. I actually really like the editing of this movie. I think that's surprisingly good. So that's really cool. And then we have the second act where the two main characters and a bunch of other rich people get onto a really nice yacht, and all this shit happens. And again, it's really funny, it's witty, it's clever. I had a lot of fun watching the movie. For some reason, I just never get tired of seeing rich people getting screwed in situations. Not even getting screwed, just biting their own tail, really. Woody Harrelson is in this movie as the captain of the yacht, and he is a Marxist captain, and he runs into a Russian capitalist, and they got drunk together, and they started ranting with one another, sort of a friendly rant. But it was a little on the nose. Okay, I get it. This movie is about, the rich and the poor, capitalism, Marxism, whatever. It's a little on the nose, but it's still funny. I think Woody Harrelson is a very fun actor in this movie. And yeah, there comes the vomiting scenes. There are a lot of very graphic vomiting scenes in this movie, and it's not just one scene; it's multiple scenes. So if you're easily disgusted by things like this, um, you know, vomiting, shitting, then you might want to refrain from watching this movie because it does get really graphic. And then of course we have the third act, which I think is still fun, but nowhere near as fun as the first or the second act. I think Ruben Östlund could have trimmed maybe 15 to 20 minutes off of the last act of the movie. It went on for a little long, but I do really like the ending. I like how even though it's just a funny epic comedy movie, it still tries to have a sort of a profound, thought-provoking ending, you know, sort of an ambiguous ending. Ooh, we don't really know what happens. And that's really cool. I like the plot twist, and I like the end credits music. You know, given how the entire film is just, you know, poking fun of the rich, poking fun at powerful people, and the music mostly is just shitty pop music that sounds like rich people music, like model music, fashion show music, and classical music like strings and whatnot. You know, like it's so funny. In the first act in the restaurant scene, they actually used unironically. And then there's a party scene on the yacht where they're playing the like I don't even know the name of the song. I just know it's such a stereotypical party music, such a stereotypical party song, and they're using it unironically, and it's just so funny. But then the whole movie ends with this dance pop tune that's kind of moody, and it just feels so out of place, especially given that the last act takes place on a deserted island. But it's also really really fitting, and it just brings you back to the real core of the movie. It's about rich people biting their own asses. And it's really cool. And it sort of reminds me of the end credits music for Tar as well. You know, some people are like, oh, it came out of nowhere. It's very left field because Tar is all about classical music. But then Tar ended with this epic YouTube outro music, which is really awesome, actually. I'm beginning to be a huge fan of weird end credits music choices. Yeah, but yeah, Triangle of Sadness is a really fun movie, and I'm feeling a light 8 out of 10. So, have you watched Triangle of Sadness? Comments below, let me know, subscribe if you want more, and thanks for watching.